ServiceNow Knowledge 2024. We spent 2.5 days there. What did you learn?
We're going to try to summate this in 4 minutes.
Yes.
We are, yeah. So look, one of the most charismatic CEOs on the planet is Bill McDermott. The guy legitimately said somewhere along one of the days that ServiceNow is an idea, and people cheered. I mean, the bottom line, though, is I will go fast because I want you to get a word in, but enterprise apps suck. Enterprise apps suck. I absolutely hate using them all. So I'm not picking on anyone. I'm just going to pick on everyone when I say this. The idea of a single pane of glass where a CEO, CFO can basically use natural language and generative technology to interact with all of their software, turning all these enterprise ERPs, SCM, HCM tools into a mere mortal database with a generative layer on top of it that can communicate is the best idea on the planet. Now, getting from Bill's commentary of this is what we're doing to reality seemed to be found somewhere in the series of keynotes, listening to CJ Desai, their president, and others saying, it's coming, but are we there yet? And
yeah,
that was my big takeaway, was their vision is to revolutionize and change enterprise software, change the value proposition, minimize the number of vendors you have to work with and the amount of sprawl you have in your enterprise. The question mark is, can they do it? Is their AI really capable of doing this at the scale that most enterprises need to? I was shocked to find out that companies have hundreds, if not thousands, of instances of certain softwares, although we really should know this, Pat. But I left excited, encouraged, but questioning how quickly can they execute and how fast does this software sprawl change? I'm going to stop there. We may owe this more time, but I want to give you a couple of minutes knowing that we have to stop.
Yeah, I appreciate that. So my team has attended their event before, but this was my first event, and I really came in to immerse myself. And so my takeaways, first of all, it is a bold and audacious plan to be the front end for every enterprise software app. Now, is there a need to have a better experience and going to a system of action versus just a system of record? There absolutely is. Does generative AI, provide the biggest opportunity to do this? Absolutely. Now, these enterprise software vendors are not just going to kick back and be stagnant, right? They're all trying to kick up their game. I think the puts and the takes is that ServiceNow has shown that they can put a front end, let's say to Workday as an example, that is being used today, right? This is not fiction. This is not, hey, I want to do this in the future. They are doing the on-ramping of employees as the front end for companies like a Workday. And as I go down the list, and whether it's SAP, whether it's Oracle, whether it's Dynamics 365, choose your fighter here. There is this opportunity to do that. The even bigger opportunity is when you tie these systems together, right? We've talked about this on the pod, and a lot of our research is generative AI can tie disparate systems together as long as you have access to the data. So getting insights from your ERP, your SCM, your PLM, connecting the front end to the back end, as I like to say, too much. That is where this incremental generative AI value had. Now, I asked a lot of questions about the data platform. I'm not fully satisfied yet, but I've got my team digging in of how that happens, because data management, when you're crossing the streams, is the biggest challenge out there for enterprises. I left impressed. I left enthused. And, having a keynote where people are excited, and Bill frickin' brought the heat. It was enjoyable.
Jensen showed up.
Jensen showed up and literally said ServiceNow was the first enterprise software company to lean into generative AI. Like, Jensen is very not into absolutes when it's not his company, okay? But this was an absolute a black.
And he said he wants ServiceNow.
Now
he was quite funny, but he was. I know he did the little Dell thing where he walked around and said, "Get your stuff at Dell." Yeah. This was probably the equal sort of endorsement of ServiceNow. Yeah. Pat, if they can accomplish, but I want to leave it here because I know we got to go. If they can accomplish what they are saying, they have a very bright future. Not to mention growing from 3 to 10 billion since he came on board. That's a pretty nice rate.
That is another reason to believe why I think they could pull this off. And whether
keynote speaker,
What's
Keynote
that?
speaker, 6.5 Summit.
That's right. Bill McDermott is the keynote speaker for our 6.5 Summit 2024. We're really excited to have him on